Well, hello everyone, Dylan here. Happy Throwback Thursday, and the rotation leads us to a Bionicle review, and this one's on Phantoka Chirox and also Toa Pohatu from 2008. Whoops. So on the front of the manual here, which I have just for Chirox, is the little Bionicle logo, Phantoka logo, with the T with wings, and Bionicle.com aside. Picture of Chirox flying in action, dropping the Triax pod, and then little Lego logo, and have the name, set number 8693, and choking hazard on the back. Little promotion, little advertisement of all the Phantoka, Toa, Afmatoran, Xiaomatoran, and Makudas, which I by now have reviewed all of, and also Chirox and Kurop together. They're flying in action. Yeah. And then advertisement of Lego Club and the online survey. And then how to connect Kurop, which was last Throwback Thursday, and how to connect him to Chirox, which I'll do in this review, and all the pieces that come with the set, of course. And then the very last building steps. So first off is Phantoka Pohatu, which, as you can from first glance, it's quite stumpy and also which very different than the previous couple Pohatus. But if I were to guess why like that, is mainly to keep it up with short Toa of stone, which of course some of the stone Toas tend to be, or stone characters of Bionicle are intended to be. And also plenty of orange for that, which great touch to him. Well, at least kind of a great touch at the time. Well, at least until the traditional brown and tans came back to him in Generation 2. Okay, yeah. As for the legs of which are mostly just the spiky Inika feet, but in orange, obviously, and then the Vaki limbs like we saw on both Kongu and Karapart the year prior, and the Paraka armor piece in orange, which you get on both the legs and the arms. Oh, whoops. And then as for underneath the witch is sort of the double connector bits, but with the newer reinforced kind of ones, so more filled in and all. But unfortunately, they crack apart easily over time. But yeah. So I guess that is it there. And then as for the main torso bit, or body bit, which as you can see, just a Metru waist, and then also the main torso piece that Kongumari had the year prior, but now in dark lightish gray for that. And of course, like all the Phantoka Toa, and just too much gray and less of the main color, but unlike with the Mystica line, same but with Lost Silver then. And also, now I'm kind of puzzled why this body part was never used in any other sets, although could have worked out on Mystica Onua as well. Well, but that's just me. And if you look on it from the back of which, it does have that Takadoc neck part of which holding his Matoran connector onto there. Then as for the arms of which, same kind of upper part as the legs do, but going down to Hordika head parts, and then leading to these unique forearm kind of pieces where where it's kind of a hollow space in there, but mainly to put a rod into, and then also have these two extra kind of pieces that you attach together and kind of form like little pinchers, sort of like Pohatu Nuva kind of did back in 2002, but in this case are used as like rotors or propeller rotors to fly through the skies, or throughout Cardanui. Which neat touch to that. So at least he has a unique feature compared to the other sets from this time. And as for the head part of which, just the same exact telemetry head, but also with the eye stock piece that is kind of in half with a plus rod in it, like we had with Kangumari the year prior, and also what most of the sets had at this point onward. But as for the mask piece, which is kind of unique one, but has this little visor piece that we were introduced the year prior to that, and this probably one of the last times we ever saw them. Then as for this mask piece, which from first glance looks almost kind of like the Mask of Time, which some kind of used it as that, but also does have a longer plus rod hole, obviously for the visor part, and although with the visor part kind of resembles a bit of a fast person kind of mask, but also fitting to mask its beat, which is Pohatu's main mask part. And then as for the Midak Sky Blaster, is instead of being held on the arms like Liwa and Kopaka both did, and also Toa Ignika kind of did, but instead it's mounted on the shoulders, sort of like Nupuru and Nika did. But however, it's on a ball joint, and also have the Midak Sky Blaster, which pull on that and fires like so. Well, up to 4 parts of which. And now to finish off with covering Pohatu here is I get one of the sets of which Phantoka from last Throwback Thursday. Well, if you connect these holes on its stomach to those there, and then they're connected like so. And there it is. So that's about it with Pohatu. And now on to Chirox, which, as you can see, with quite a tall set, sort of kind of close to that of Takedox or Baraki Takedox from the year prior. Well, and quite plenty of skimpiness as well, but also good solid color scheme of mainly black and silver. That, but also with a bit of like gray here and there. But yeah, like as for the legs, which from first glance, which are just the Xiaomatoran feet, which are like the Paraka feet, but instead of 3 toes, it's 2 toes. As in, also the socket part is part of it rather than being a separate piece thing. And also, from first glance, are for the lower legs, which are the Tohordika lower leg pieces, which first time seen in a few years, well, until Vastus in the Gotorian Legends the following year. And then as for the legs, upper legs, which barely much of any armoring, well, except for these kind of side or opposite side armor pieces, which was also used on Nupuru Mari the previous year, but now in silver, which also used on Toa Ignika, also in this wave. Well, only times we ever saw these armor pieces then. But still, neat to use for mocking, obviously. And as for the main torso body part, is have these lower armor pieces, which also used on Neutron and also Mystica Onua in the following wave. Yeah. And then, of course, like all the other Phantoka Makutas, which has the Triax pod feature, which, if you look at this silver part on the back side, is that you can like press on that and drops down. Let me get a pair of view of that, or explain it myself. There, burst open. This is what it's like. And of course, these pieces, which were also used on the other sets, but only time these, and also in Star Wars as the Death Star plans and all. And the only time they were recolored was on Von Nebula in Hero Factory in 2010. And then, as for the Shao Leeches, which are sort of a soft rubber material, yeah, a soft rubber and like 2 large wings and 4 small wings around, and a little bit of a face kind of etched into it, and backside, which is sort of a plus rod, which if you put it on something with plus rods or a set with plus rods around it, represent the Shao Leeches sucking the life out of them, which is a little suggestion of mine. And you get these back together, it's like that. And then get Chirox back in place. And then with the chest open up, you can like mount it back in, and it's all set again. And then as for the arms, of which kind of an interesting build for how they are, where instead of like 2 pieces, it's actually 3 kind of pieces to it. Where, and of course, using the Phantoka arms and 2 of the newer style Visceract limbs for that. But if you like extend them out and then extend the part for that, then it's like really wide then. And of course, it does have the newer bat wing pieces, which some of the other Makuta sets in this wave also use. And why like this, I'm not sure. And then going down to his arms, which are just Hordika arm or head pieces, and going out to these interesting blades that were used on a couple other sets like the Jet Rax T6 and Bulk and Vapor in Hero Factory. Well, 1.0 wave, but yeah. But also these which can work out quite well for mocking if you can figure out a way. And then still for the backside, which a lot of exposure going on, and also the Matoran attacher bit for that, which I'll go over in a minute. And then as for the head part, which I take this off, and also like all the other Phantoka Makuta sets is, and also Krika in the Mystica line as well, but where they wobble back and forth quite easily. Major problem that you just had to deal with, but at least Krika's there was kind of an easy fix since he didn't have the Triax pod, but yeah. And as for the mask here, kind of wide on the top part and a lot of these neat shell-like ridges around it. And for that, and then going to the kind of evil-looking eyes, and then leading to these 2 large fangs and 2 small fangs there, kind of matching with Chirox kind of mask part, but yeah. You can attach in like so. And now I'm gonna lean them over. And now I get out Chirox from last Throwback Thursday. I like spread them outwards and then gonna attach them into it like so. Yeah, like that. Which you can also attach them onto Krika in the Mystica line the following wave. But yeah, just saying for that. And if you wonder why I exactly position them like this, well, since the Makutas were blind flyers, which probably have the Matoran like this to see for them. But yeah, and that's about it there. Just now let me get these 2 together and free. Okay, and so now on to the final verdict is, overall, I think these which are quite cool sets for both for the time and still well hold up. Like Pohatu's, which main highlight is quite a few orange pieces added to him. Well, at least until with Akar the following year. But yeah, and whereas for Chirox, which nice to see return of the Hordika limb pieces, obviously, and also a few new pieces for the time, like the hand blades and such. And whereas Pohatu, which nice to see a good change for him with the rotor arms and also the shoulder sky blaster, of course. And like for the $10 that they were each back in 2008, still quite good for how it is, for how they were. And also, and then Chirox, which kind of tall for a canister set, which like we saw with Baraki Takadox the prior year to it, but at least until, and of course, and also the same with Krika and the Mystica wave the following year, following wave, but yeah, but at least until that went away until the very end of the line, but yeah. And also need to have 6 Visorak limbs included with Chirox, well, instead of the usual 4 included with some of the sets, or most of the sets, but yeah. So at least these do have a bit of uniqueness added to them, and kind of a way to spot them out in a bunch of sets together, but yeah. And so now, if any of you still have these sets from back in the day, well, I've had some good memories of them. And for those of you who haven't and are still looking to get these sets, I'd say definitely get them. eBay, Bricklink, Mercari, Bricks and Minifigs, whatever. And that's about it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.